Alright, Rangers lead the way, gentlemen. Danger Ranger here with a quick video on how to black out your vehicle for driving under night vision. So, kind of just thought I would do this quick. I have this Goblin IR light bar that I picked up probably about, probably a year ago now, and I haven't ever mounted it to the truck, and I was like, you know what, I need to make sure this thing actually works, so I'm gonna make a quick video about it. So before we get into it, there's a couple considerations you got to take into account before you do this. Obviously, like, you don't want to black out your truck and then drive around down the road because there's laws and stuff. We're not complete WROL, as other gun YouTubers like to say. So like, what's your purpose behind blacking out your vehicle? Is it for hunting purposes, like you going out and hunting coyotes at night and you need to be blacked out on the infill? There are other reasons you need to be, black out your vehicle, or make it harder to pick up under night vision devices. This is also, something you'd want to do if you did want to like drive under nods. Having any kind of light inside the cabin or unnecessary external lights is going to really cut down on your field of view. If you've driven under nods before, you'll know, like, when you hit your brakes, if you didn't black out your truck, you hit your brakes, it washes out everything behind you. You can't really see. You can see better with your nods working properly. Apologies for the sound. The AC unit is running currently. Hopefully it kicks off here in a second. But so we got a few things to help us black out our truck. We got obviously our duct tape, which we'll show you, 100-mile-an-hour tape. We got our nods to test it out. We've got our Goblin IR light bar. I will list the specific model this one is in the description below. And then we've got some fabric here, and you're going to see what this is going to be used for in a minute. Most of y'all probably don't need to get this crazy with it. I have it because this is part of my business is making gear, so I have 500 Cordura nylon readily available, and I'll show you what that's going to be for here in a second. All right, so we are inside the cab of the truck, and we're going to talk about some key areas that you're going to want to make sure are covered up. So obviously we have this whole display here, not too bright right now. We have the little dash light, and then I've turned the radio off. If we had lights on, we'd have all this illuminated. Obviously we're going to be driving blacked out, so we're going to have, naturally it's going to be off, but we still want to cut down the amount of light that's coming off of here, and then especially with the dash. This is going to be, where you're going to be looking out. So we're going to be needing to eliminate this so you don't get glare underneath your nods. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure kind of a box around here, and roughly a box from here to these 2 points here. And we're going to cut some fabric that's going to act as a cover for this. So we got our blackout panels, we have our console, and we have our dash panels. So we're gonna go install these. What I've done is I've sewn hook Velcro to the inside of the panel, and then I've got this adhesive stuff which is gonna secure it in place and make it removable. So we've got our loop Velcro adhesive to the dash. We've got it here, here, and same thing on the other side here. And I'm gonna throw the panels on. All right, panels are on. We've got this one. I ended up making it so you could still access it pretty easily. Out of the two, this one needs to be obviously access to adjust airs, so I didn't want to like completely seal it down here. And then we've got obviously the dash panel, and once it gets dark here, I'm going to show y'all what this looks like under nods, and then with the panels and without the panels. So we got the inside handled. Next is to hit the outside. We want these covered up, and we're just going to use 100-mile-an-hour tape. This is probably the most time efficient way to do it. This is pretty occlusive. It's not going to allow any light through, and it's pretty easy to remove. There is obviously the concern about residue. The residue comes off pretty easily with rubbing alcohol or UV gun. So yeah, I'm gonna fucking just time skip and show y'all what it looks like. All right, so this is what we've got. The contour of this tail light was a little tricky to work with, so I started with that. brought it down, and then I was able to just do straight lines across the front, and then one last piece here to block out the last little the sliver of light that was going to be shining through. So big things here is I didn't get any on the paint. This is all just on the plastic on the light. And then what we've got here at the bottom are pull tabs to make this very quick and easy to remove should we need to do it in an expedient fashion. So I'm going to do that all the way around. Tail lights complete. Got the tags on this one, easy removal, should just pull right off. And then on this Tacoma, we've got these turn signal johns on the mirrors, so I made sure to cover those up. And then we come to the front, headlights completely masked, these little lights at the bottom, ready to go. That should hopefully do it. All right, last piece of the puzzle is our Goblin IR light bar. So this is the plug and play model. So all we got to do to make this run is plug this into our cigarette lighter, phone charger inside the cab, and then run this cable through the window, and we'll be good to go. All right, we got the light bar up top. It's got these rubber magnetized feet, so it's not going to scuff your paint off, and it's on there, it's not going anywhere, but you can still take it off pretty easily. So an important thing to consider is that the angle of this is adjustable here with an Allen key, is you do not want this pointed down in front of your vehicle like traditional light bars. You want this pointed either directly out at the horizon or just barely under the horizon. All right, and she is pretty much good to go. One last thing we got to do is obviously test it under nods to make sure that all of this is sealed up. We're going to have some more duct tape on hand to make sure we seal up any little peaks of light that are coming through. Light bar is up on top, good to go. We've got it running. I didn't run it through the window. I realized you could close the door on it, so it makes it a little better to do that. And then we've got it routed behind the seats. Obviously, if this was going to be more of a regular thing, I would have some kind of cable management system going on here so it doesn't get snagged on equipment or gear. And then, like I said, it just plugs right in there. And once the sun finishes going down, we will bring out the nods and give it a look. All right, so we are in the truck. It is night. We are looking through my PVS 15s. We've got the, man, this is hard to do. I'm sorry in advance. We've got the fabric up covering the dash. And then we've got it covering the radio system here. And I'm gonna take this down and show you all how bad it is looking out. We got the light bar going. It's really hard to tell because there's a lot of other ambient lighting going on right now. But I'm gonna take this down and then show you all how bright it is and how much glare you get with these not up. All right, so those light panels are down, and it's really hard to kind of show it, but you get a lot of wash underneath your nods from these instrument panels. This one wasn't completely occluded, but it is significantly more occluded without the with the fabric panels. And I'm going to do a quick little show of, so this is currently with the light bar, and then I'm going to show it without. And so that is without the light bar. I know, really kind of hard to tell. We are, again, like I said, there's a street light right outside, and there's a bunch of other ambient light, but I wish I could show you all out in the actual woods, and in the future I definitely will have a video of this out actually in the dark. So unfortunately, as you can tell here, our taping didn't do as much as I'd hoped. This is not ideal, obviously. We can kind of see here where it's double layered that it kind of gets darker, but across where the actual running lights are, it is not doing a whole lot. I'll show under nods here. All right, so it really gets shitty trying to look at this under nods, but obviously it's not doing a whole lot. That's the light bar going up top. But yeah, y'all can tell this isn't doing a whole lot. All right, gentlemen, so that kind of just goes to prove my point. Do you want to test this before you actually go out and drive, blackout? Because if this was, life or death situation, or, you absolutely needed to be blacked out, that would be unacceptable, clearly. Remedies to this, I would probably, I'm not going to do it because I already used about a whole roll of tape. But remedies to this, obviously, you would just, add another layer or two of tape onto that. Again, this is meant to be a field expedient method. Obviously, I could take out the actual bulbs of the running lights. That would probably be the fastest and easiest way to do it. didn't want to really mess with that today, so I did you know, a technique that we do use in Ranger Regiment. We mask our Humvee and 1.1 lights with 100-mile-an-hour tape, and I guess I must have just had an off-brand brand of 100-mile-an-hour tape there, because it is letting light through pretty easily. That being said, the technique here with the with these fabric panels is something that is works a little bit better than other methods that I've seen. I've used personally, like cardboard, like MRE cardboard, just to block, which works. But if you plan on using, you know, going blackout a lot, you're going to want to have something that's maybe a little bit more permanent and repeatable, and not as flimsy and cheap. So that's, you know, something that I came up with. I personally haven't seen that one done before. It's just something that I knew I could do because I have a sewing machine and fabric material on hand. So sorry to disappoint at the end of this video, but I was debating whether or not I was going to even finish this at this point with how disappointing that reveal was, with the running lights just completely shining through my 100-mile-an-hour tape. But not everything goes to plan, so you just got to roll with it. And that's, you know, again, like I said, that's the importance of testing your stuff before you actually go. PCCs, PCIs. So hope this video was a little bit informative, you know, maybe a little bit more instructional than some of the videos I've done. Again, this is based on my experience, you know, blacking out vehicles and kind of the stuff you need to do, and then a review of not so much a review because you couldn't really tell that the light bar was on, but just kind of showing the capability. And those light bars are pretty inexpensive. I want to say that I didn't pay more than $300 for mine, and basically instant ability to drive under nods. You know, those magnet feet will go on just about anything. So if you got like an M-Razor or something, or like a, you know, a quad or whatever you have that has obviously a cigarette lighter or a plug and play port, it'll work with that. But yeah, so hopefully you all enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe. This might be this probably up later tonight, but I'm not lacking, boys. Not lacking on this challenge, even though I about had it today with this with this disappointing result. But see y'all tomorrow. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening, and then hopefully y'all have an excellent weekend as well. Have a good one.